plate umpire, Tim McClellan, with the bat in his hand. Now they're going to measure it across home plate.
I've never seen this.
I never have either.
I don't know what they're measuring. They might be going to call George Brett out.
Well, he's winning. He's out.
Yes, sir.
Brett is out. Look. Brett is out. And
Steaming mad.
he is out and having to be forcibly restrained from hitting plate umpire Tim McClellan. And the Yankees have won the ball game 4-3. Brett is called out for using an illegal bat. Or with the illegal substance on the bat.
Like I said, I have seen this before, Frank, and Gaylord Perry just took the bat away from the home plate umpire, Jim McClellan. He's going to take the bat. They're going to take it so they cannot take it into the American League office.
Welcome to the Mr. Baseball Show. I'm John Weeks, also known as Mr. Baseball, and along with my co-host John Hopwood.
No, your guest.
You're my co-host. So we're going to throw some baseball at you.
And we have Peter
And
Stiller.
we are fortunate enough to have Peter Stiller
I can't,
on the phone.
I can't move over to make a better shot, Kirsten, because none of these. Well, this one's unplugged, and this is so short.
At any rate, welcome.
They'll blame me for this.
Welcome, Peter, to the show.
I'll get another lawsuit. Holy smoke. Okay. What's going on in baseball? See, I'm not in the two shot because I can't come over here.
What's going on?
Here, I'll move
in
this one
baseball?
over here, the fake one.
Well, I guess so. We're going to start with the American League East, as we always do. It's moving along quite nicely. I don't think there's been much of a change in trajectory since the last time we discussed things.
111.
Red Sox, Yankees, still sort of the runaway train in the field. And the Red Sox just got a split in Houston in 4 games, which was, they lost the first 2, so coming back and getting those last 2 was pretty darn good.
Yeah, it
And,
showed me a bit.
How are things at your end, Mr. Baseball?
Well, we got it, and then we want to talk about Hanley Ramirez. But you told me last week the Red Sox. We weren't here last week. I can't remember why because I have no memory, thank God. And except for baseball statistics, that the Red Sox were on a pace to win 111 games. Is that still true, Mr. Stella?
Yes. Well, yeah. At the exactly at the 1/3 point of the season, so through 54 games, I forget what exactly that was, but yeah, if you extrapolated that and applied their record at the time by 3, they would have been They would be 111 and 51 at the end of the season.
And the Yankees about the same.
The Yankees.
The Yankees are barely at 50. The Yankees just seem to get rained out every other day.
Oh, I know.
How was that doubleheader?
That's a real plus for the Red Sox. The Yankees have played 6 games. Well, now it's 4 less because they snuck in that doubleheader in Detroit yesterday.
After a night
But,
game.
Yeah.
And now Detroit is had to, after that doubleheader, had to fly into Boston to start a 3-gamer against the Sox tonight. So
I'll be there
right now things are sitting pretty for the Sox.
I'll be there Wednesday. You can't come, you said.
Yeah, Boston has a nice little schedule the next few days.
I'll be dealing with the employment monkey. So
I'm
yeah, I
unemployable.
can't do that. Hey, listen, you should just show up. Stand outside, and you can probably, you can sell your ticket to somebody. For at least at face value.
I'm going to take the Honorable Joel Elber, unless he shunned me over the city flag incident. I draped myself in the city flag on a radio show yesterday, Peter. Now they want to strip me as naked as one of Donald Trump's badly told lies. Spray paint my hindquarters red and drive me out of town on a rail. Sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Hey, at least people are noticing.
Yeah.
That's why we're looking for Lon Chaney III to host the event.
Let's talk about baseball.
Let's talk about the Yankees.
Yeah, I want to tell you, the Yankees, I have no excuses for their lineup. They are at full strength. They got Bird back, and he jumps right into the third slot. That tells you what they think of his hitting. And
What the computer thinks.
Frazier,
about it.
Clint Frazier's back. They're at full strength. It's just pitching. They're going to have to put a little package together, maybe Torreyes, maybe Frazier, and go out and get a good pitcher before the trading deadline.
Well,
Who's there?
it's probably, it's, not too soon you can start at least thinking about the trade deadline. Less than 2 months now. But, I don't see the Yankees having to fill too many holes. I would think they would be, pretty satisfied with, both their rotation and their bullpen. But of course, there are people like Cole Hamels sitting out there, and knowing the Yankees' ability to, take on like any sort of contract, I'm sure there'll be players for whoever is available.
Yeah, I don't think the starting rotation is that powerful. Other than Severino, who has been brilliant, especially yesterday. He was brilliant again. Gray, you don't know what he's going to do. Tanaka, iffy at times, but throws well at times. You just don't know who's going to the mound. I have no faith in CC Sabathia at all. I hope he gives us 4 or 5 innings and let the bullpen take over and outslug the other team. So we need pitching. We need Montgomery back, healthy, and
What pitchers are available? Is there any speculation? Good starters?
Sheffield is in the minors.
No, but I'm talking about pitchers that they, major league pitchers.
Well, they thought about starting Green, but they haven't done it. Domingo Herman has not shown anything since his first start when he threw a no-hitter for 6 innings, but he's been bombed every game since, including yesterday. Not bombed, but he lost. He's 0-4. So we need help on the pitching if you're a Yankee fan. I am a Yankee fan out there, folks. So we need it.
Yeah, we've gathered that, Mr. Baseball. And I seem to recall it wasn't too long ago where you were just extolling the virtues of the Yankees starting rotation, and to see you kind of back off of that a little is a little bit surprising.
Yeah, I thought Gray was going to come out and have a good year. He had a few
Sonny
games.
Gray, where'd you get that idea?
Well, he pitched very well for
bum.
Oakland, and he threw a couple of nice games.
Very well. He pitched all right.
And the last 2 games he's pitched for the Yanks, he's pitched somewhat decent baseball, especially against Kansas City. He threw a beauty there. But
he's a number 4 starter.
But he could go out tomorrow and get bombed in the first, second, third innings. So, yeah, you're right. I was high on the pitching. I thought they had him, but we had Montgomery at that time, and he's 10 times better than Herman and CC and probably Sonny Gray.
Well, as I said, Cole Hamels is one of the names that's kind of been dropped as the Texas Rangers are having a very disappointing season, and he could become available. And so, if I know the Yankees and Mr. Brian Cashman, I'm sure they're not going to let July 31st go by without making some sort of splash.
Oh, no, they won't.
They say the Tigers are probably want to trade Michael Fulmer.
Well,
that there's a high possibility the Tigers.
it's
get
going to
rid
be a
of him.
team that's not in the running that's going to make the trades. The Houston Red Sox, they're not going to do anything. They're set, and they're not going to unload any of their good pitchers for prospects or anything like that. So the Yankees are the ones that have to shore it up, or they're not going to make it.
I thought they were going to
Yeah.
slug 500 home runs.
Yeah, they're on a pace to break the record.
Well, it's funny, you know, because the record was set originally by the 77 Red Sox. And they didn't quite make it, did they?
No, the Yankees won the
No,
World Series.
no, that was that was one of the teams that like the gerbil just like up and like kneecapped as they went down the stretch. But
Chris Archer might be available for
I
the
think
Rays.
that power does go a long way, and especially in today's game where
always did.
it's like it seems like 80% of the at bats are either home runs, walks, or strikeouts. So
Well, yeah.
if the Yankees keep slugging, I'm sure they will hang in there pretty much all year.
Oh yeah, they'll be.
Last year, fewer balls were put into play than any time in history because of the development of pitching. Your average pitcher now has a 95-mile-an-hour fastball,
They're all throwing.
which is tremendous. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Clemens, who I watched many times and had a blazing fastball, that was only 98.
Yeah,
Of course, he had this superb control.
this kid on Milwaukee, the relievers. I just observed him. He can bring it.
Is that the guy who threw? He's faster than Chapman.
Yeah.
Is what I hear. I haven't seen him yet. But
Yes.
I saw he hit a .5 on the gun, which is it's hard to believe that a human being can even do that.
Yeah,
And you'd have to really check the gun because,
his strikeout innings pitched is ridiculous. Much like Chapman and Betances, and there's several others in the majors.
So, Mr. Baseball, what did you think of the Hanley Ramirez
yeah.
move? I was shocked. I mean,
We have to
personally, I knew that they weren't looking forward to letting his plate appearances
Right.
reach the level where that option was going to kick in next year. But I'm just saying, why so? Why so soon? I mean, they had, it was a good couple of months. They could have, kept them around and not had to worry about that. It's, I'm wondering if there was like something else that just didn't meet the eye. Are you aware of anything like that?
I have read and listened to some of those baseball pundits on the Major League Channel. And
Some of them.
They said that he was not at all a good clubhouse man, and that he was not popular. So that may have something to do with it. If you've got great talent, you're staying. If you're marginal and they don't like you, goodbye. Here's a ticket.
Listen,
Yeah.
he can't
Well, the thing
play.
is, he had a fantastic. He was great in April. I mean, it was
Yeah.
the first month of the year. He was tremendous.
And he's at
then,
254.
he fell off the table in May. Had a terrible May, and I guess they decided that they didn't want him to see if he could snap out of it and give him another productive month or two. But,
Why? Why?
I don't know. I had heard, conflicting things about his clubhouse presence, but
He can't
I guess
play a
it's easy to say
position.
At a certain point where he's not like a popular guy, but I don't know. I never saw direct evidence of that myself.
He only hit
He's
254.
gone.
He only hit 254 with 6 home runs. It's one of Dumbbell Cherry's great trades, They pick up a guy that was a shortstop. He comes to Boston. He can't even play any position. He's hitting 254 with 6 home runs. First of all, you're right. They don't want him to get the at-bats where they have to pay $19 million from the next year.
No,
They got to have a position for Pedroia's coming back. This is a guy that fades in the stretch, fades during the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be hitting 220 by August.
Yeah, I'm almost positive Pedroia's done.
He's
not going to be.
We're not talking about Pedroia. We're talking about Hanley Ramirez.
Well,
you don't know what Pedroia's done. Pedroia's got a great heart, which Hanley Ramirez is.
He just
an MVP.
Yeah, I don't think he'll make it back.
We're talking about Hanley Ramirez.
Well, what about him? So he's gone.
What are you shocked about? He wasn't productive. I'm not Peter. He wasn't productive at all. He can't play the field.
Who replaced him? He's a DH.
Well, it's like I said, in April, he had an OPS over 1,000. He was, driving in runs, and he was just playing very well. And
in April.
And if he had kept that up another month, I don't think we would be having this conversation.
But he's hitting 254.
And so,
But he's not. He's hitting 254.
They have a catcher that's hitting 200.
As he's being pushed out the door, if you'd like. But
why are you making?
Still
he's not an all-star anymore.
Get why they had to do it when they did. That's all.
So they don't have to get stuck with his contract. Nobody wants him. He's not a productive player. A DH that has hit 6 home runs in 2018. Holy smoke! I'm ready to talk about Babe Ruth. Hey, Reggie Jackson in 1961 had 31 home runs at the All-Star break.
What? He didn't even play in 61.
69, excuse me, and he hit 47 for the year.
Oh, I've seen that.
They always say Greg Nettles said he was using a cork bat. But no, or was it Greg Nettles that used the corked bat? There's always people.
Somebody's always using
the corked bat.
Albert Bell got caught.
Now it's all we play everybody's on steroids.
Yeah.
But Hanley Ramirez,
Sammy Sosa is like his bat exploded at that one time. And
right.
Enough corks went flying that could have floated the Titanic.
So he had corks and steroids. But Hanley Ramirez, a DH hitting 254. Come on. You don't need that. You could bring a kid up from AAA that could do just as well.
Well, who did they bring? Who did they replace him with?
I think they brought up Coco LeBoy from the low minors.
Hey, the highly underrated Coco LeBoy. He was like Mr. Montreal Expo.
Number 3.
Rusty Staub. The late, great Rusty Staub.
Who should be in the Hall of Fame.
That was a tragic loss.
The original Legrand Rose.
I think basically they wanted to get Mitch Moreland in the lineup every day. And
that's what they're doing.
And why not? The guy's been, playing exceptionally well. He's a good defender, and and Alex Cora just said, as opposed to alternating him and Hanley and whatever.
You don't do that.
This is the route they decided to go. I was personally thinking, Jesus, why not send Jackie Bradley Jr. down to Pawtucket for about 6 weeks and see if he can get his batting average above $170.
Yeah.
But that's not the route they decided to take.
No.
And as for Dustin Pedroia in the clubhouse, he's an essential person. When Dick Williams went to Oakland, he took Mike Andrews with him. Wherever your hero, Billy Martin, went, he wanted to have Fred the Chicken Stanley with him. There's certain players that bring something to a team. And Dustin Pedroia is one of those.
Well, he's been great, but I think he's done.
Well,
I think you can put a fork in
Cora
it.
Doesn't think he is.
Well, no,
They're
they
going to
don't.
give him a chance. I would rather give him a chance.
Yeah, well, Nunez has been putting up fair numbers, and
But we're not talking about. We're talking about Ramirez.
Well, that's
I'll tell you what. Dustin Pedroia is going to come back, and he's going to be fine. He just had fairly major knee surgery, and
yeah, but he's got heart.
It puffed up on him, and so he's going to let it chill for 10 days. But I suspect that Dustin Pedroia is far from through. I mean, he's probably not going to have any more MVP seasons, but I'd rather have him at second base than a lot of guys. and he'll end up having a decent,
He can
solid
DH.
season when it's said and done.
He can DH.
I see Pedroia hitting 260 with half a dozen home runs. That's what I see.
Well, that means he out-hit Hanley Ramirez, who's 254 with a half a dozen. But it's a difference. The guy is the heart of a Red Sox team.
Oh,
He's
he was
respected.
absolutely. But you know, it's a business. It's a game.
Oh,
but
here's
it's a
Mr.
business.
Yankee.
Well, it is. You know, what'd you do for me? The Yankees cut Hideki Matsui loose, and he just won the MVP of the World Series. So it's a business. They didn't want to pay him money.
You just don't like the Red Sox.
Oh, I
have the Red Sox right here.
I don't dislike them.
Oh,
They've never hurt me.
maybe we should substitute you for the public tarring and feathering and run you out of town on a rail.
Well, that would probably please a lot of people.
There's too many Yankees fans in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Well, there got to be some, or there wouldn't be a nice rivalry.
We have the goose.
Gee,
We have the goose that's laying all the golden eggs for the Red Sox. A big goose egg for the Yankees.
I think that's the Detroit Goose.
I have a feeling that
looks
the
just
Yankees
like
are
him.
going to go into the crapper during the summer. What do you think, Peter? And if you don't believe what I'm saying, give me. Hey! I need some
think
support
that's
here.
certainly wishful thinking, but there's no basis in reality there. You know, it's kind of like Trump saying he can pardon himself. You know,
Hey, he
that's
could.
wishful
It doesn't mean
thinking, but there's no it's not really connected with planet Earth in any way.
You know what? If this wasn't a family network, I would expletive delete you. What kind of Red Sox fan are you?
Well, he's an honest fan.
He just hasn't had a few drinks yet.
The Yankees are going to outslug a lot of teams.
Oh, they're going to go down.
Score runs, but they're going to give up runs.
It's going to be a long, hot summer.
Well,
we'll
I think
see what the sluggers do then.
I think it is.
It's like Mr. Baseball says.
Pitching wins.
Starting rotation, doesn't pitch up to their potential. Yeah, they're going to struggle some, but I don't see them falling off the flipping map. I mean, they're not going to finish lower than second. That's almost impossible.
I'm predicting.
But I'll tell you what, I still like the Sox on opening day, and I like them at least as much now.
Yes, and I was reading the tarot cards today, and the Yankees are going into the proverbial crapper. And Donald Trump is going to pardon
I didn't know
himself.
you read the tarot cards, Mr.
Well, it was on my...
If you had told me that earlier, I would have heartily concurred.
Well, actually, I was on my phone looking for something called taro, which is a kind of potato or something, or a root, because of my digestive problems. But the taro app came up, and I read it. And the Yankees.
I hope you didn't pay for it.
Oh, I don't pay for anything. Mr.
Yeah, I
Baseball.
won't. Yeah.
Even my friend sent me the tickets for tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, Ted Gettis might sue me again to try to get a hold of him. I'm still in my army shoes. Yeah, my salad days I had in California, Peter, are long over.
Well, I think that is true for many of us.
But I don't think you should come on this show and not back up a good Yankee bashing.
Oh.
Well, gee, okay.
No matter how stupid.
Okay, so you what do you want me to say that the Yankees are going to finish 72 and 90? Sure. Okay.
All right, we'll make some. Judge is a bum.
Yeah.
What's he got? 16 dingers?
Yeah.
Chicken feed.
280 something.
Is Mookie the best player in baseball, or
He is
I
when
would
he's-
rather have J.D. Martinez than either Judge or Stanton.
Man, did he turn out to be?
How's that? Is that Yankee bashing enough?
Yeah, you bashed him enough.
JD's turned out to be he's a hell
shot.
of a player.
Shot in the arm that won't quit. He's just.
Jeez, he was everything they said he was. I can't imagine somebody else didn't try to pick him up. Because the Red Sox were like, he was waiting and waiting.
He makes you forget Poppy. Big Poppy.
Well, nobody can make you forget Big Poppy.
Oh, yeah. He's,
I
don't
actually
think
was-
about him as much anymore.
I was thinking about here's a good replacement.
Oh, darn good replacement.
But I'll never forget Yaz or Jim Rice or Fisk,
And what
Dewey, Fred Lynn, all the guys.
what impresses me about
Wade Boggs,
Martinez,
even if he is a bum that went to the Yankees.
Martinez is hitting to all fields. He's hitting.
All the guys you just mentioned never won a World Series,
Wade Boggs did.
but that doesn't
Wrong
mean they're
team.
not still in our hearts. You're right.
For the wrong team.
for the Yanks. That's
That
what.
bum Wade Boggs. How could I bring him up? The goose is goosing us because we're going to have to go in a while.
Yeah,
We only got a little bit.
yeah.
So what's your prediction for the Yankees and the Red Sox this week? When we come back next week, I think the Red Sox are going to be in the catbird seat, and the goose is going to be pecking the Yankees' fanny.
The Red Sox have a nice little schedule for the next week, and then the Yankees have.
I will continue to pat myself on the back. I think I said on opening day I see the Sox winning it by about 4 or 5 games, and I'll stick with it.
That's not.
I'll tell you what. I'll stretch it out to an even half dozen.
Yeah, that's not such a bad prediction. Well, we have to go, Peter, and Mr. Baseball has to wrap up. Well, I'll talk to you later. Thank you for coming on. Mr. Baseball, would you like to give a plug for where you are serving as a bartender?
That's where I'm going to be going in a few minutes. It's the North End Bistro, the best food in town.
On Elm Street?
On Elm and Myrtle. Plenty of parking. Come in. We've got 2 great chefs. They're twin brothers, Andy and Chris. They are chefs, not cooks.
Are they
The
baseball
food
fans?
is excellent. They are hockey fans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
Bruins.
Don't forget your friends at Billy's.
Yeah. Okay, so long, folks. Cindy, pour me a beer. I'm heading over to Billy's.
It must be twin Mr. Baseball.
Play ball!